Well, hello and welcome to chapter 50. Yes, 50 chapters. We are halfway to being picked up by syndication. And we have two extra chapters, so it's actually 52 chapters. I should have talked about the 50th chapter like 2 episodes ago. This one I'm going to call Master of Non-Communicative Skills. And you'll realize why. It's more of a pretentious title, but that is what we do. My drink today, let me talk about that before I forget, is non-alcoholic malt beverage, lemon flavored. I had peach flavored of this brand earlier this week, and it was really good. Let's see how the lemon flavor is. The problem is, by the way, I'm recording this at 7 a.m., a reasonable hour for once, instead of in the dead of night. But the reason I'm so comfortable right now doing it, I'm home alone for the first time in ages. And I know it's not as exciting when you're 24, what it is. It's very exciting when you're 24. Uh, Things are not good here in Iran, and I haven't been able to, be independent much enough. It's a problem. We'll talk about it on a later date. We were supposed to talk about something else this week. In particular, the fact that I've written a last villain testament, just as a backup if I kick the bucket before I manage to leave Iran. And I wanted to discuss the emotions around that. But to be honest, this week was such a roller coaster of stuff that I totally scrapped that. I filmed this week and realized the importance of a teleprompter. I, oh, sorry. I, okay, I'm sorry again. I went out with friends. Totally fucked up my sleep schedule and my eating schedule. So, in a good way, I think I'm sorry for that. That was my phone. I think I'm sick, not COVID. Thankfully, I got my second dose of vaccine, and it's going okay on that front. But I think I might have the cold because I've been running the AC, even though the air has been much cooler lately. But the important thing is, some stuff happened with someone else. I'm not going to mention who, and it led to kind of a frantic few days. Anxiety attacks, panic attacks, and all of that. And it came down to this fact that a friend of mine, Kamyab, I'm naming him because he's not going to listen to this, um, sort of told me in my face something that I've known, my lack of communication skills. And I never claimed to be good at it. In order to develop your communication skills, oddly enough, you need to have communication. And for most of my development years, from like 5 years old to 19, I was perpetually alone. Like, I didn't communicate with a lot of people, just myself and movies. And back then, the online world was a thing. I wasn't much into that either because, you know, um, parental fear mongering, it's a thing. And my communication skills is just starting to develop now. And despite my other skills in writing, that I'm really good at it, when it comes to communication, I'm kind of a mess. And so I named this the Master of Non-Communicative Skills because when it's not communication, when I'm talking to someone, when I'm doing a monologue basically and telling something to someone, like this. Yeah, kind of like this. I'm not that bad. But when it comes to initiating a dialogue and having a back and forth, I'm not very good, which is troubling because that's my job. I need to be able to write good dialogue. Fuck me. Anyways, so yeah, and in the middle of the week, I had an anxiety attack and a lot of old bad feelings coming to the surface, and the fact that a couple of miscommunications happened as well with another friend who thought I just hated him for some reason now. And we talked about it, and it was a misunderstanding. The fact is, if you've been here from the early days or have gone back and listened to the early chapters, you know the role Twitter used to play in the whining of the last months of a busy mind. But I've been out of it for almost a year now. My last tweet was October 2020. So now we're October 1st. It wasn't October 1st. So it's not a year yet, but it's like 11 months and a couple of days. So I've been out of it, but some stuff and miscommunication happens. And when it happens, I get extremely anxious. Like from the time I read his message that what the fuck, why did you do this? Which I mean I've done it for like a year now. I haven't just seen it, but no. From why did you do this to me explaining it and he seeing the message and answering me, I had like a nightmarish couple of hours. Like, oh my god, what is going to happen? Because communication, when you're not good at something, it scares you, and communication scares me because I'm always afraid of misunderstandings, miscommunication, whether I say something to offend someone. Because again, I don't have any skill at it. I can't read the room. I can read the vibe. I can't read the room. I can't. I realize I'm not enunciating the T. I can't um, read the vibe, and so I'm afraid I say something that is seemingly innocent, or at least in my head, I'm thinking as a bad joke, but offending someone and ruining the chance for communication, and that really terrifies me and makes me anxious. And so I was having an anxiety attack in the middle of it, not because of him. He was a catalyst, right? But it was him. There was a couple of other people. Basically, I'm responsible for many of my own misfortunes, including not being able to talk to people because I become apologetic too fast and end up just yeah not being any good at showing what I mean, expressing myself, and there are myriad of factors, but the base one is I just haven't had the chance a lot. And at least in Iran, with a lack of a social gathering place, excluding the mosques, which I mean, even if the stories of heathens walking through them and turning to stone is not true, I will not walk through them. Um, so there is not a lot of chance to meet people if you are not, if you're a freelance writer, like if you're in your home all the time. Your place of work is your home, and your place of education, you have none because, oh, I'm waiting on the answers of that concours thing. I'm so sorry, my nose is. Uh, it's seasonal allergy time, and it's hitting me super bad. Again, I think I might have the cold, but It might be just seasonal allergies because apparently my mother also has the problems. Anyways, so yeah, maybe that's why I did the last Once of a Busy Mind, because it's easier for me to communicate one way, like a monologue. But at the same time, the fact that I don't get anything back from my supposed audience is really weighing heavy on me. And this is a good segue to tell you, do send me a message on Anchor. I don't know what platform you're listening this on. Most of them, I think I've seen it on Apple Podcast and all of that. Have a link to the Anchor webpage. You can go there and send me a voice message. The upper limit is 1 minute, and if you send one, I will play it whenever you send it at the beginning of the next episode. Like, uh, you send it to the week, it will come before the at the beginning of the next episode that will come out that week, and you might shape the whole episode. So far, we've had one. I need to write down this stuff before I start talking about them. I kind of forgot which episode it was. Let me check it out. I know which episode he was talking about. He was talking about the loneliness episode, and I think I might be mistaken, which would mean I'm a kind of an asshole. I'm looking through the catalog and see what episode that was. Oh yeah, it was chapter 25, OCD plus GAD, where we have first message. Go out and listen to that and see the response. So do send me a message on Anchor, or if you don't want to send me a message, do comment, do and if you listen to this on YouTube, well, you can look in the description, and I've put a link in the description. But do comment, communicate with me basically, because I know I'm not good at it. I just admitted to that, but I can be better, and I need all the practice. But yeah, I'm going to take a sip of my drink. It's not too bad. The peach flavor was much better. Lemon flavored non-alcoholic malt beverages are kind of a hard thing to do really good. You don't have a lot of sweetness to work off of, so it can be overwhelmingly sweet if you don't manage it very good. Sorry, my voice is very raspy suddenly. But yeah, the peach flavor is much better. So, what is the solution? Well, again, I at this point, communicatively, that I think I mispronounced that. I'm like a 12-year-old kid who is just going, no, not 12, 6-year-old kid who's just going out to school and just trying to develop talking to people. And I think over the last couple of years, I've had improvements, but Comeo was 100% correct. I'm not very good at it. And the fact is, I can't let stuff go. OCD and GAD, again, those two good old pals, come back to bite me in the ass again. Um, because I can't let stuff go. So like if I think someone is treating me like an idiot, I get hurt so bad, and I have to say something about it. And I finished watching Chappelle's show. I hadn't watched the three last episodes, and I remembered when keeping it real uh, is gets goes wrong. When keeping it real goes wrong, and God damn. When keeping it real goes wrong is literally like I just need to say something. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to be honest and all of that, and then I fuck it up because I can't keep my big mouth shut. Damn. A big mouth, again, a good show. But I at the moment I have no plans. Part of me is thinking, hoping that if one day I leave Iran and sort of get away from the toxic culture of Iran that puts a lot of unneeded pressure on having and not having certain communications and communicative skills, I might get better. Like if I leave this place, I get to manage to talk to more people, and at the same time, I don't have to talk to them in an Iranian way. I might get better, and who knows, I might, because talking in English, first of all, it's much better for me. And when I'm not worried about a lot of stuff that maybe one day I'll talk about, um, I, I might feel more free to express myself. But right now, no, I'm just gonna fuck up every chance I get at meeting new people and maybe even initiating a conversation or initiating a relationship. So I'm going to fuck it up and get then feel bad about myself, have all of those loneliness nightmares, and have an anxiety attack. So that's a promising future I have for myself. But yeah, that's basically it, and maybe that is why. Okay, no, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna let my brain go into all of those dark places. I've been there enough. I'm home alone. I don't need that because I need to make food for myself. I can order out, but I'm tired of eating out. I need to. I want to eat something homemade, but I'm too tired to make anything. And if I go there and lose all motor functions, I'm not going to be able to eat, and then it will be bad because apparently, I mean, you need food to survive. That's a huge bug of human anatomy. Uh, but let's talk about some personal news, meaning for those of you who probably listen to this because of my ongoing life story. As I said, this week I filmed part of my next video for The Good, the Bad, and the Interesting. And hopefully by next time that you're listening to this, if you look in the description, you can find the link to it. It has four sequences, scenes. I filmed two. The the next two need a little bit of help from someone else, and I'm hoping to find someone who can come and help me, a friend, or well, I can't say family member. I'm alone, but I have a few ideas, and I think will turn out good. Aside from that, the rest is as usual. Um, but yeah, honestly, I just filmed, and I hope that by next week you can see that. I've written down a couple of goals, which is kind of stupid. But like if I get to 1,000 subscribers, if I ever get to that on YouTube, I'm going to do a stupid idea that I had called "We Didn't Start the Fire Marathon." It has 118 items. I'm going to break it up into three 30 items and 128 item, and do it in 4 months in a year. Like every day, record something and then mash it up and do like one giant episode that is the first 30 items, the second 30 items, and the third 30 items, and the last 28 items in We Didn't Start the Fire by Billy Joel. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Don't forget to send me a message on Anchor. Don't forget to communicate with me, and I hope to see you all next week.